So good morning and welcome to week 34 of my breathing exercises. If you've missed any, you can always catch them up on Facebook or YouTube, Instagram as well on IGTV, and they go all the way back to the beginning of lockdown. So my first bit is our Did You Know? So, let me just turn that to silent before I have everybody phoning me and texting me and moaning at me for putting stuff up this morning. So we take in 21% oxygen whenever we breathe in, around 75% nitrogen and around 3% carbon dioxide. But the carbon dioxide that we're taking in is starting to increase with the more cars, pollution on the streets. We're starting to take in a little bit more. And then we have a few other small percentage of other gases as well. Now at normal sea level, our oxygen saturation is between 98 and 99% of oxygen running through our blood. But the higher you go in altitude, the more that percentage lessens. And as we reach the top of Everest, we only have around, where's my numbers, 40% of oxygen within our body. Because the higher we go, the oxygen molecules become smaller and they're more dispensed. So you have to breathe more to get more oxygen in, to get all that oxygen around to different places. But our body is an amazing thing, and what it does is it starts producing more cells so that we can get more oxygen into these cells, which will then bring it to all the parts of our body. Now my mum, who's on dialysis, we have to give her an injection called an EPO, and this makes red blood cells so that we can then give her iron, which then helps the iron, and that's only because her body won't produce them now because of her kidneys are starting to disintegrate. But our natural body, as long as we're fit and healthy, we will produce enough blood cells to help get their oxygen around the body. So today we're going to just do a few things. There's a quote from Joseph Pilates, and he says that, let me read it properly, civilization impairs physical activity. And that is true, because if we're sitting constantly in this position all the time, and then we're on our computer, we've got our legs up and we've got our foot here and we're like this, or we're over like this and we're all scrunched up, then our lungs get squashed. And so most people tend to breathe into the front of their lungs, even though the majority of our lungs are in our back. This from here is our breast and our chest bone. Our lungs kind of start around here, and as you see, that's not completely straight, so it's not like there, it's around here. So the majority of our lungs are actually in the back of our body. So we need to actually breathe more, or think about breathing more into the back of our body rather than the front of our body. But it's really hard. If you're not great, if you've never done breathing, I mean, obviously, if you're breathing, if you're here today, then you're doing fine. Breathing's accomplished. You're living. But we could do it better. And so sometimes actually moving into a position helps us to focus our mind better. And so that's what I'm going to get you to do. You can stay on your chair, but I'm going to get you to bend forward and bring yourself down. Now, if you've got blood pressure problems, keep your head in line or just above your heart. And if you've got back problems, make sure that you don't curl. Keep the back straight. But from here, I want you to think about breathing right into the lower part of your back. So as you breathe in, the breath should come all the way up the back, right to the top of the shoulders. Now, you may feel it pushing into the chest. And if you do that, then you know that you're a chest breather. And so you've got to then try and focus. And we're going to do 10 breaths. So you're going to close your eyes and you're going to try and breathe into the back of your body. As you're breathing in, you should feel the shoulder blades want to pull apart as well as it comes to the top. And we're going to bring ourselves back up. So it may take a bit of time. You might have to do it a few times to get it, to feel it go in there. So now we're going to take it into side bend so that we can feel it into the side of the body. We're going to try and move the air into one lung more than the other, which sounds mad, but we control our body. We control everything that happens in there, I believe. Some scientists might disagree with me there, but a majority of the stuff, apart from our digestive system, which we tend to not have much control over, but we can kind of using our stomach muscles push our poo through there a bit, but again, different thing. So, right, we're going to trying to work onto the side. Now, I know this is my left hand, this is my right hand, but unfortunately on the camera it'll go reverse. Now, my left and my right, I'm always never great with, so listen to me rather than do what I'm doing. So we're going to, if you can, lift your right arm up. If you find that you can't lift your shoulder, then you can keep the arm down. It doesn't have to go up. Again, if you've got blood pressure problems and it affects your blood pressure, don't take it off. You're going to reach over towards your left. And now you're going to try and breathe predominantly into your right lung. So as you breathe in, you should feel it coming all the way up here. You can place your hand on your left lung and just feel that you're just breathing into one side. Now don't worry, air will go into both lungs. It won't necessarily go into just one, but you can send it, majority of it, to the one side. But as you're breathing in, you should feel the little intercostal muscles, all of them starting to open as well. If you've got emphysema or COPD, you may notice a difference when you change sides as well. And then we're going to bring ourselves back up and take that arm down. So let's try it with the other side. So again, turn the palm of the finger back so that rolls the shoulder, and that should help the arm to lift up if you've got, like I said, shoulder problems. So again, we're going to breathe out and lean over, and now we're going to try and breathe in predominantly to the left side. And again, lift up. Now you may have noticed yourself as you were breathing, it felt as if your body wanted to go a bit. And that's just because the intercostal muscles start to stretch and the waist starts to stretch, so it makes you move. So this is why, and we're going to do a twist, this is why I say the left and right, listen rather than follow, because otherwise I get confused now. Now we're going to do a twist. So you can bring your hands over to the leg and you can bring your hands to the back of your chair, and you're just looking over your right shoulder. But you're going to breathe into the front of your right lung and into the back of your left lung. So you're doing a diagonal breath. Again, sounds weird, it works though. And then bringing it back to centre. Excuse me. So let's try the other side. So turning towards the left. Now breathe into the front of your left lung and the back of your right lung. And bringing it back to centre. So now we're going to breathe into the front of our chest, but again we're going to try and make it a little bit easier to focus on by bringing our hands back, pulling our shoulders back, lifting our chest up. So now we're breathing right into the front of our chest. And bring the shoulders in, bring ourselves more to a neutral position. So what you should have felt is that all the intercostal muscles, every muscle that's in between our rib cage, opened and had a chance to stretch in all the directions. And so now you should feel that the lungs have got a much bigger cage in which to expand and breathe. And even if you don't do the breathing exercises, the forward, backward, side, side, twist, twist is again a brilliant exercise to do if you suffer with lower back problems and if you're sitting at a computer all day. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it and keep breathing. You're doing well. Take care. Bye bye.